Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And on today's episode, we're going to look back at the 2023 NBA draft as it was wrapped up and complete on Thursday. We're going to give you our winners, our losers, shocking pick, favorite pick. It's, good stuff talking about the NBA draft. I'm David Huppin. Right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. And let's not waste any time, TJ. What was your just takeaways from the draft before we get into winners and losers? Takeaway.
They actually paid attention to other prospects other than Victor Wembanyama. When we did the I forgot what show we did, but it was like I said I was just sick and tired of them just highlighting him. I'm like, there's other prospects in this draft.
Yeah, they did a really good job featuring every single prospect, giving all of them the opportunity to be interviewed. It was nice.
I'm like, what? They're talking to the Thompson twins. What? They interviewed Scoot Henderson? Like, oh my God, there's other prospects not named Wembanyama. Who would have thought?
Yeah, right. I did think that it was a little like the draft seemed to go on forever. It was a very long draft. Like I think it didn't wrap until like 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Indiana. But I also thought it was strange that they brought Victor Wembanyama on the set, in the middle of the draft. Like they basically paused the draft so ESPN could interview Victor Wembanyama on the set. And it's one of those things. I also thought Victor Wembanyama's emotions after he got picked, that was raw and genuine. Like it was touching to see a guy that touched and that his dream just came true and he was overcome with emotion. I'd love to see it.
Of course. That's what you put in the work for, right?
Yep.
Like the team that he lost to in the French final had seven former NBA players on it. Like that's a lot of talent on the opposing team.
Yep. Let's get into it. So let's talk about winners, losers, best pick, best value, worst value, and the most shocking pick from the 2023 NBA draft. Let's talk about some of the winners because we're a positive show here at Prime Sports World. Let's talk about our winners first. Who do you got as some winners, TJ?
Obviously, obviously, if you're the Spurs, you're a winner. You got the best player in the draft, right? You're hoping this guy is the franchise. Like, he's the new building block. I don't care who you had on your roster now. Everybody, the pecking order just got a new leader. It's him. Right? And this guy pretty much you're hoping to extend Greg Pop's career, 5 more years, if that.
Something like that. I don't know.
Pop is at a stage where he's purely coaching just because he can.
Yeah, I mean, he has nothing left to prove. I think he's just coaching because he loves it, and I do think he wants to see Victor Wembanyama, become a good basketball player. I have the Spurs actually as one of my winners too. Anytime you can get the best player in the draft, you're automatically a winner. And the city of San Antonio seems to be rallying around him already. That stadium was just packed to the gills. I love to see it. The Spurs got him as a winner as well.
Another winner, the country of France. You had 2 players drafted in the top 10, maybe for the first time ever.
I'm sure that's the first time ever.
I'm sure that's the first time ever.
There's no way that's happened before than once.
So, they're a winner, the country of France, especially with the 24 games in Paris next year. The hype for France is.
Yep.
It's real right now. It's really real right now. Let's see what else I had to take Schwig whiskey right there.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Some winner. So winner is another winner. Every single person who had their name called on Thursday is a huge winner. You go your whole life trying to become an NBA player, and you've done it. Your name was called. You're on our NBA roster, and all the undrafted players that got signed as well. Kudos to you. I mean, your journey's not over just because you didn't get drafted. Every single player that got his name called. Everybody dreams of that moment that they hear their name. Adam Silver walks to the stage and says, "Your name got drafted by whatever team." That's a big win.
That's a huge win.
Yeah. And then I got the Houston Rockets. I love what the Houston Rockets did with this draft. You take Thompson, with your 4th pick, and then you get in 20, you get Cam Whitmore, who fell. Basically, everybody, people had projected him in the top 10. He falls all the way to 20. He's going to come in with the chip on his shoulder. I heard there was some medical stuff and some interview stuff that I heard. This is just rumors, so I don't know for sure. But some interview stuff that he didn't exactly ace. Cam Whitmore getting the Rockets, Cam Whitmore getting Thompson, who should be the point guard of the future there. I love what the Rockets did with this draft.
Yeah, if you're that pretty much sending a message to Jalen Green, and Kevin Porter Jr., hey, bro, at any given moment, you're replaceable. I don't have to put up with your shenanigans and your nonsense.
I think Kevin Porter Jr. I think Kevin Porter Jr.'s days are numbered in Houston. I don't think he'll be back. I don't think he'll be on the team when the season starts. Until
it happens, he's on the roster. There's nothing so he stops saying his days are numbered. He's there. Until something happens, he's there.
Fair enough. The Dallas Mavericks, another winner for me. Low key, a really savvy move there by the Dallas Mavericks. So they trade back with Oklahoma City Thunder, right? And they give up Davis Bertans' contract, which is $16 million a year. And they move back 2 spots, and then they take whoever they were probably going to take anyways at 10. They get who they wanted at 12 with Derek Lively, the 3rd or the 2nd. And then the sneaky move, trading back with Sacramento. I have them as a winner too. Trading back into the 1st round with Sacramento, using that trade exception to take on Rashawn Holmes' contract, who was a good player when he was given playing time there for Sacramento.
Fell out of the roster. Fell out of the rotation.
Yeah, but it also cleared up some cap space. So now they have a full max slot that they can have used to their disposal. So they can use that in free agency or whatever they decide to do. Whatever happens with Kyrie Irving, but they will have money now to play around with. It's a savvy move. Same thing with the Sacramento Kings. You trade away Rashawn Holmes' contracts, free up some cap space there. They now have a full max slot. If they want to let Harrison Barnes walk, they can sign a whoever they're going to sign. I don't even know who's really available. I haven't looked at the free agency class yet. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow and to tomorrow's show. But I love those savvy moves by Sacramento and the Dallas Mavericks. That is just how good teams kind of structure their roster. It's very smart.
Let's hesitate on the good team thing. Like Sacramento's had the one good season in 22
but
years.
It's just good GMing. Like it's just really smart manipulation of the salary cap and manipulation of the rules.
To your point, that's a GM saying it took us 22 years to get good. I don't want it to take another 22 years to get good. I want to get good and stay good.
Sacramento didn't need another young player to add to that team. Like they needed a veteran that can come in there and be a difference on that team.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's not forget Sacramento. Sacramento gave Golden State all they can handle.
Yeah, that's them saying, "Hey, I'm good right now, and I want to stay good." Like that's all that is. Like, and Dallas had to. They got to do something, right? You don't want to have Dirk 2.0 where you have this generational talent, and he goes to 2 finals in 20 some years, and wins 1 championship. You don't want that because Luka will leave. Luka is not Dirk at all. Luka will get out of there.
Yep. Like Luka, I think Luka has shown that he can get frustrated and he puts some pressure on Dallas. Let's see what I end up doing. That's all the winners I had: Spurs, Rockets, Mavs, Kings. You got anybody else?
Nope.
Moving on to the other side, because not everybody can be a winner. There are some losers. First loser that I have is, unfortunately for Cam Whitmore, is kudos for you for getting drafted, but his slide cost him $14 million, falling outside of the top 10 to the 20. That's a $14 million salary loss. So it's tough to see. We don't really know what the medicals were. We don't really know what the interview stuff was. But you hate to see a guy slide and lose that kind of money. Just tragic, kind of.
Yeah, he'll earn. That's bad, but he'll earn it. Loser for me, Portland Trailblazers. I understand you got Scoot Henderson, but again, what playing?
TJ, losing you a little bit. I agree with you on the losers. I got the Portland Trailblazers, one of my losers. I actually have Damian Lillard as a loser. The fact that they didn't trade that 3rd overall pick to Scoot Henderson, the fact that they didn't make a trade for a Zion Williamson to make Portland a more competitive team today. Adding a Scoot Henderson, while nice, does nothing for Portland this upcoming season if they want to really be competitive next season.
I don't see how adding
TG, you having connection issues. You might want to jump in and jump back out. See if you can refresh that.
I'm fine. It's not me. It's got to be you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my internet's having some issues right now. So I guess it must be me. But yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing. You're breaking up a little bit. Hello? All right, anyways, so Portland Trailblazers, I have them as a loser. I just, having Scoot Henderson, while a nice player, should be very good for them. I think you want to try to make a move to win now, and I don't really think they did that. Welcome to the show, CEO Israel Vera. Welcome to the show, my friend. We're talking losers on draft night. We did the winners already. You got a quick winner?
Quick winner. I'll go Houston Rockets. Being able to get Amen Thompson and being able to grab Cam Whitmore later on in the draft as he slipped down, I'd say that they kind of won in the draft in a way in terms of talent.
Back into the losers. Me and TJ were talking about the Portland Trailblazers, and not maybe flipping that 3rd overall pick to try to get a win now piece. Not trading Damian Lillard either. So We both got them as losers. My second loser is actually LeBron James. While I think Hood-Schifino should be good for them, I think you needed to maybe think about flipping that pick, try to get a win now piece, because the LeBron James era of LA, like just him being the best player on the planet, is quickly ending. So. And I don't think adding another young piece to that team was the move.
I do agree. I do agree with you on that one. But I mean, what was the play like to get what piece?
I don't know, but I just think they should have been trying. I'm sure they did try to shop it, but I think you needed to make a trade for somebody who maybe was available, maybe a Buddy Hield or something of that nature. They just chose
they've been talking that for 4 years. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So
I just would have liked to have seen them do something. I think another one, I got the Wizards as a loser. You trade up with the Pacers. You give up 2 second-round picks, and you take a guy you probably could have taken at 8 without having to give up the picks. I just don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
See, that's head-scratching. Like, that's... We don't have a head-scratching category, but that's...
It's a loser for me. I don't understand that decision.
Is he?
Man, you know what? Honestly, in terms of like losers, like, I would say like maybe players like Cam Whitmore sliding down. I know he had like a poor pre-draft evaluation, but like him sliding down, like he's a loser in the draft just because of the money. I guess
$14 million.
Yeah. So that sucks for him because he's gonna have a solid NBA career, in my opinion.
Agree with you on that.
Yeah. And then I guess in terms of a loser, I mean, the Wizards going and I mean they acquired a whole bunch of second round picks, but like going and getting Bilal Coulibaly in the top 10, they could have got something else that possibly
they could have traded back and gotten him. Like I don't understand.
They could have just stood right where they were. They didn't have to make the moves.
Yeah. I got another loser. How about the viewers and people who follow Sham on Twitter? If you're not aware, I mean, so if you're a follower on Sham and then you also watch the NBA draft on ESPN, literally it was like I basically had to close out Twitter or like I stop Googling it because he was basically spoiling every pick and like. It's like what's the point of having the picks announced on ESPN if the Shams is going to announce? Like he was like 2 picks ahead. Like even like we're watching it live. Like how does he know like all of these picks already? And the viewers, that's
he was doing that in the NFL draft too. Remember, David?
Yeah, remember. Then he messed up that pick for Anthony what's his name, Will Anderson. It was basically
they took him off the waves.
Yeah. I just, that's so frustrating. Like you're trying to watch it and like he's just spoiling every single pick. There's no drama. There's no excitement if the pick's getting spoiled every single time. Also, ESPN as a whole, like I think that they legitimately thought that there were going to be a lot of blockbuster moves like during this draft, and there just wasn't. And like they had, JJ Redick and all their analysis up there, and like it was just like just very meh television for the entire 3 hours that it was on.
See, that's this is how I would fix the NBA draft. Like, instead of holding the draft lottery months before the draft, I'm holding it 30 minutes before the draft. So I want real chaos. Also, you don't need all that pageantry and presentation. You really don't.
I mean, the sponsors probably were like, yeah, we want.
You don't need that pageantry and presentation. Announce the draft maybe in 30 minutes to an hour. The draft lottery 30 minutes to an hour ahead of the draft. That way you can watch the real like it was no secret. It was no secret who was going to like where Wembanyama was going. We've known for 3 months that he was going to San Antonio. Like we dude probably has his house already picked out.
Like in 5 minutes is way too long for these picks. Like just shorten
especially
all that stuff.
Especially when you've had months to make whatever moves and stuff that you've had to make.
Oh, you know what? You know who else I want to make a loser?
The Orlando Magic.
Draft? No. Well, yeah,
kind
them
of.
Too. Yeah, them too. But I'll let you get to them. I want to talk about like the big men, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Traditional, the college big men, right? And so we saw Oscar Tshiebwe, who was a player of the
Undrafted.
year
Player of the
just 2
year.
years ago, undrafted. Um,
I mean,
you know
Drew
what I
Timmy.
mean?
Drew Timmy
Timmy
didn't
from
get drafted either.
Gonzaga. You know what I mean?
Undrafted.
The
Yeah,
kid,
didn't
the
get
kid, the
drafted.
kid, the kid
Adama,
that
Adama
the,
Sanogo,
yeah.
undrafted, just won, most outstanding player to Final Four in the national championship. So, and those guys they have a little bit of outside, except Oscar Tshiebwe is going to be like a guy that can run up and down the floor, like super athletic, that run screens, grab your rebounds, you know what I mean, like make all those hustle plays. But yeah, those guys are nowhere,
Because what do you
allowed in
think
the
that
NBA
message? Like,
anymore.
what do you think
They're
the
not even
message
looked at.
is? What do you think the message is to other bigs in college right now? Like, is he like we legit saw a guy like Kofi Coburn
Get a jump shot.
average 20 and 10, average 20 and 10 in college, and he went undrafted. So what do you say? Like, what's the message being sent to other collegiate big man right now? That it's like, yeah, your 20 and 10 in college is irrelevant, basically.
You got to get a jump shot.
It feels very similar to what's happening with running backs in the NFL. Like,
NFL, yeah.
It's very very similar. Yeah, the Orlando Magic too as well. Two like they took very good basketball players, but Jet Howard felt like a super reach. He was like a fringe first rounder, and Anthony Black does not. He doesn't shoot the basketball well. That's what they needed.
So, like, what the Orlando Magic need to do instead of just stockpiling young talent, you had 2 first-round draft picks. You easily could have sent those 2 first to a team that and get a vet player. Like, that's what you need in Orlando. Like, you got to stop stockpiling all these young dudes just to win 27 games a year. What good is all this young talent? Like, where's the improvement? Where is it? Like, seriously.
I don't know what they're doing over
What's
there.
the plan here?
They could have traded both those picks to the Bulls for.
They got like 3 franchise point guards. They got a franchise power forward. You know what I mean? All that
all this talk about Jaylen Brown, all this talk about Jaylen Brown getting traded. You don't think Boston would have jumped at 2 first and another player from the Orlando Magic for Jaylen Brown? They get their vet guy, and you get a guy that can possibly take you over the hump. Like, what's the plan here in Orlando? You're just gonna keep stockpiling young talent?
Probably. Let's swing into let's talk about best pick. What was you guys' best pick of the night? You can't say Wembanyama, obviously.
You can't. That's what I was gonna say. You can't say him. He's looking at something. What was your best pick, David?
I got Walker to the Pacers. I think he's a really good fit there in Indiana. Also for a fleece in the Wizards with 2 first-round picks for a guy they're probably going to take anyways.
2 seconds.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Sorry, two second-round picks. A guy they were probably going to take anyways. You get 2 extra picks, 2 extra shots at it. I also really like Lively to the Mavs for similar reason as the Walker to the Pacers. But yeah, I love both of those 2 players and their fits on those 2 teams.
Go ahead, TJ.
I'd say I understand that you call LeBron a loser, but I still say Jalen Hood-Schifino to the Lakers is like one of the best picks of the night. You get a young dude. While he's young, he's super mature, and he's going to learn from one of the best players ever, and he's going to have rotational minutes right out the gate because I don't see D'Angelo Russell back on this team. So it's pretty much him and Austin Reeves for that point guard spot because I'm assuming that the Lakers keep Austin Reeves. I don't see them just letting him walk for nothing. I don't. Wait, hold on. I saw. What else was it? Derek Lively. I think Derek Lively would have turned out decent either in OKC or Dallas, especially with Dallas. Like he legit should start game 1. Like he legit should,
I agree.
Game 1.
He legit
Game 1.
Game 1. He legit should be a starter. Jaime Jaquez, he literally just fits. He screams Miami. He's a senior. He's one of how many seniors that got drafted? Like everybody else, like freshman, sophomore, freshman, junior.
Yeah, he's
a senior. So like He's a senior. He ain't gonna be distracted by all that Miami nonsense. Like obviously, like when you go to college in LA and you stay there for 4 years and you never been in no kind of trouble. Yeah, like that just screams Pat Riley, heat culture, all that good stuff. I think I got one more. Leonard Miller going to San Antonio in the second round. How he fell all the way to 33 is beyond me.
wait, that pick did go to San Antonio, right? That 33rd.
No, I was traded to the Timberwolves. So
traded to the Timberwolves.
Oh yeah, he's going to Minnesota. He's going to Minnesota.
He's going to Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, that was there. I like some second round picks. I did like I like the Amari Bailey, like Maxwell Lewis is a guy like the Lakers are gonna like. He's a 3-and-D guy.
Imani Bates
in the first round. Yeah. Oh, Imani Bates getting picked. Yeah. I
Cavs. I love that.
He's a young dude that can come off the bench. Man, there's a few dudes like, man, dude, Jalen Pickett. You like going to the Nuggets like in the second round, early in the second round, bro. That's a total like. He's a culture pick. Like dude is like a point forward. Like at Penn State, we saw him. In the tournament, he had a couple good games. So like, yeah, Jalen Pickett there to the Nuggets. But in terms of the first round, I really like that Nick Smith pick at 27 to the Hornets. I think that's going to be I think he's going to be an all-star one day or close to an all-star one day, coming off the bench at least for the Hornets. I don't know if he'll be a starter right off the bat, but he's got starter potential.
I mean, they need people to play. They need people to play. They need people to play in Charlotte, so I'm sure he's going to start.
Yeah. Also, Cam Whitmore as well.
Swinging over to worst pick. Let's talk worst pick.
Worst pick.
Golly, you know what? I'm probably gonna have to go like that. Bilal Coulibaly has to be one of the worst picks, probably top 10. I mean, I had him like a top 15, top 20 grade, in that 15 to 20 range maybe, but not in the top 10. But I mean, hey, they were able to make some trades and get a whole bunch of future assets or whatever the case is. Godly, who was the other kid? The other kid from Belmont.
Ben Shepherd going to the Pacers.
To the Pacers. Yeah, I didn't like that pick as well. Yeah, there were a lot of other players on the board that you could have went and got. Other than Ben Shepherd. I mean, you got Bryce Sensabaugh there. I mean, Nick Smith. Those guys are probably going to have better careers. Yeah.
I hated the James Najee pick when I thought it was the Detroit Pistons getting that player, but he ended up going to the Hornets, so I don't hate it as much. I don't love the Jet Howard pick to the Magic. I just don't think he was. I mean, he's a first round talent, but in the top 15 in the lottery, I don't see it. That's all I got really. I thought everybody did a pretty good job with their draft this year.
It's also him in general. Like, how does he fit there? Like, you got forwards and guards galore, and now you have another young player who you got to find minutes for, and this is a lottery pick. Lottery picks, depending on the team, aren't just stashed on the bench and not playing. I'm the same way with Grady Dick going to Toronto. Again, you're hearing rumors about Pascal Siakam getting traded. So unless you make that trade, which opens up a bunch of minutes for a bunch of guys on that team, because you got to replace the 30 whatever odd minutes, 40 minutes that he played, right? That's a lot of minutes to replace. But until that happens, what's his spot on this roster? What's his spot?
They needed a point guard because there's no chance that Brandon VanVleet's going to be. I don't think he's coming back. They needed a point guard. They didn't address it. Two best value. Who's the best value this year in the NBA draft?
You still can't say you still can't say Wembanyama for this answer.
I'm going Cam Whitmore, going to the Houston Rockets at 20. First round, and most mocks I saw over the week before leading up to the draft had him somewhere in the top 10. For them to get him at 20, that's pretty good value.
I don't know if this falls under best value because he was a second overall pick, but Brandon Miller going to Charlotte, like everything that was said about him with all that, and he and
I think TJ. Is that on your end too? Is he? We're losing TJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ken
no,
Whitmore.
if I had, yeah, Cam Whitmore definitely total value at number 20 is crazy. I mean, he was a projected to be a top 5 pick in most people's mock drafts, right? And draft evaluators. If I had to pick a best value though, he's up there. He's probably on my number one on my list, but what about Chris Murray, right? Chris Murray going to the Trailblazers. He's a 20-point per game scorer. If he's anything like his brother, Keegan Murray, how he translated from college to the NBA, I think that's a steal at 23 for Portland because, Keegan Murray was, essentially he was a lottery pick, right? So
I also like Colby Jones going to the Hornets at 34. First round talent on him, getting him in the second round. Pretty good stuff right there. All Leonard Miller as well. Pretty good value there for the Minnesota Timberwolves. On the other side of this, the most shocking pick. This for me is easy. It's Kalabali going to the Wizards and them trading up one spot to take him, giving up 2 first-round picks or 2 second-round picks. It was shocking. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when it happened live. So that's.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
I don't really have another most shocking pick. Like everything kind of went as planned. Like there was no crazy stuff that happened during this draft. Like there was a lot of minor trades that happened. Like the Thunder trading up, the Mavericks trading up, the Mavericks trading back into the first round. But there was like a lot of nothing that happened in this draft. It kind of went as planned.
You sound so disappointed.
Well, I mean, I kind of was expecting there to be some movement here. I thought there'd be a lot of player movement. I thought there'd be some, and I think ESPN kind of expected that too. But based on the rumors that were going on before the draft,
when you consider some of the moves that have been made with all the draft picks being traded away and whatnot, it's kind of hard to do that.
And Chris Paul getting moved right before the draft ended up being the biggest trade that happened all night.
Exactly. So what's topping that?
I mean, a Zion or a Damian Lillard trade, or something that should shake up the league a little bit. Just none of it happened. To the last category, favorite pick. What was your guys' favorite pick of the entire night?
Oh, it's definitely Monty Bates going to Cleveland.
That's mine too. I love that fit for him. He should be, if he can get his mind right and get get his focus on basketball.
Well, considering he averaged 23 a game for a terrible Eastern Michigan team, I say his mind is pretty right.
Yep, and he should be able to start for them and play legitimate minutes because he's exactly what they need there in Cleveland.
I wouldn't say he'd start. No, he's not starting.
He could. If he plays well enough, he can for sure start there. I mean, nobody's clamoring to play the 3 for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. I mean, we've seen all we need to see out of Isaac Okoro, Danny Osmond.
If I had to go, favorite pick in both rounds, definitely probably my favorite pick in the first round is definitely going to be that Nick Smith pick to the Hornets. I think Nick Smith is an excellent scorer. And then in the second round, it's got to be Jalen Pickett to the Nuggets. Like that pick, I think he fits perfectly into what they're doing. He'll come off on the second unit. He's a winner. He's a guy that can play that point forward range. I also like that Andre Jackson pick as well for the Bucks. He's a first round talent. He's a guy that can play a huge role in terms of defensively what they do in Milwaukee.
I just realized I didn't get my shocking pick. My shocking pick is Trace Jackson Davis falling. What was it? Second to last pick.
God, yeah.
Second to last pick, yeah.
So my only issue with that is Trace Jackson, just shut up. Don't say I'm gonna make all those other teams are gonna regret it, because usually when players say the teams that passed on me are gonna regret it, they end up regretting it.
They end up not regretting it.
So just shut up, put your head down, continue to work like you've been working, and let your work show itself as to you don't have to say nothing. I'm gonna be real with you. I really
had a hard time picking a shocking pick. But if I did have to pick something that did shock me other than Koulibaly, it had to be the fact that Cam Whitmore was still there and the Miami Heat were drafting. And they ended up drafting Jaime Jaquez. They could have drafted a guy like Cam Whitmore over Jaquez, who I think I like Jaquez, but I think they are going to regret that. I think Cam Whitmore is going to be a solid
even Golden State passed on him too. I mean, they could have for sure.
Yeah, even Golden State passed on him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just looking at the 2 teams that passed on, even the 3 teams. I mean, the Lakers, Jalen Hood, Shafino. I mean, you already have an abundance of guys that can handle the ball. I think you need a strong, wing player that can play off the ball, that can
the
just,
three and defend.
score.
I mean,
yeah, that just wants to score and just wants to defend. Doesn't need the ball necessarily in his hands to all the time break down the offense. Just needs it on the drive and kick and can do his thing.
And another favorite pick of mine is what's that? Keontae Johnson getting drafted. Obviously, second round pick. I'm pretty sure he had late first, maybe early second grades on him. Obviously, health concerns is what caused him to drop. He's still amongst that's a win in itself.
He got drafted 50 overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Basically collapsed on the floor on the court. All at Florida.
Was in a coma for like 3 days. Yeah.
2 prediction time, real quick. Rookie of the year. Who's your rookie of the year? Go, TJ.
Not named Wembanyama.
No, you can do Wembanyama if you think he's going to be the rookie of the year. That's your pick, man.
No, because I think this is one of those situations where it's like how LeBron was like highly talented. LeBron, like Melo could have easily won rookie of the year over LeBron James, but it was just like, but he didn't, and so that's what this is. Like they pretty much just have his name, like written on the trophy already. But if I had to make an argument for somebody who could give him some gold, I'm gonna go Brandon Miller. I'm gonna go Scoot Henderson, and I'm gonna go the Thompson twin that went to Houston.
Amen.
Thompson. Yeah.
And then Cam Whitmore is a super dark.
Is he rookie of the year?
Other than Victor Wembanyama, who I think is gonna be the rookie of the year, because I think that Victor Wembanyama is the consensus rookie of the year.
The trophy might be at his house already. The trophy might be at his house already.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, because if he has similar numbers of the next guy I'm gonna name, like similar impacting numbers, then he's definitely gonna win it just because of where he got picked and how they like to kind of make that narrative, right, TJ? But I'm gonna go with Scoot Henderson to be a rookie of the year.
I think Victor Wembanyama is gonna win the rookie of the year, but if I want to say a dark horse, how about this? Yeah, Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren, dark horse.
He does count.
I like that. I like that. He is gonna be in this rookie.
He is gonna be a rookie.
I like that. Man, you know what? I play with OKC. I love playing with OKC in 2K, and they already have like Chet Holmgren. He's like playing, like he starts, and like man, that team is cold with Chet Holmgren. So just letting you know.
All rookie first team. Who's your 5 guys? I'll go first. Victor Wembanyama, both the Thompson twins, Chet Holmgren, and Cam Whitmore. All rookie first team.
All rookie first team. Yeah.
Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson.
Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Amen Thompson. Those top 4, and then I'll probably, not even gonna lie, I honestly think that Jarris Walker is probably going to be amongst. Or no, you know what? I'll go with like Chris Murray. Yeah, I'll go with like Chris Murray or Jarris Walker, one of those 2 guys.
All right.
So I got one
or
for
Cam
you.
Whitmore.
It's mostly a question because, like, let's be honest. The whole leading up to this draft, we talked about the Thompson twins. We talked about Scoot Henderson. We talked about Wembanyama. Out of that class, and who's that one rookie that we really should be keeping an eye on? Like,
I think it's got to be Jarris Walker, right? I mean,
he just like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just brought somebody like that. It's like
Or Taylor Hendricks going to the Utah Jazz. Perfect complement to what they already have there in Utah. A guy who's going to play the power forward position, can shoot the three, can defend at a high level. Taylor Hendricks should be somebody we're watching.
Who's the
You know
second
what?
round
I want to
pick?
watch what the Denver Nuggets rookies do, because they moved up to get the rookies to extend their window, so to speak. Right. So
Yeah,
I want to see what
took
Julian
Julian
Strawther does.
Strather.
I want to see what, Jalen Pickett does, in their first year. So
Who's the second round draft pick that could steal some votes?
oh man.
Because everybody
Monty Bates. I'm gonna go with Monty Bates. I think
because everybody that goes in the second round, everybody's looking for their Jokic now. So, hey, newsflash, folks.
Honestly,
I'm gonna go with Monty Bates.
Sleeping on this one.
Who we sleeping on?
I'm actually gonna go Gregory Jackson from the Grizzlies. Gregory Jackson, South Carolina. I think Gregory Jackson should have probably been, he's a first round talent, slipped down to the second round, mid-second round pick. But I think he could steal some votes. I think he's gonna have an all rookie. He's gonna be on one of the all rookie teams.
Okay. Who's the Damian Lillard type of this draft? Remember when Dame got drafted? Everybody's like, who? From where? Like, who's that caliber player of this draft?
It's got to be Brandon Podziemski.
Santa
Clara. I know he
transferred
from U. I know he transferred from UI, but I mean, this guy went to Santa Clara. Probably now people will probably watched him play or even heard of him, or the kid from Belmont too. He didn't even play in the NCAA tournament. I don't think.
I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be either one of those two. If you're looking at school, if you're looking at like a guy like Maxwell Lewis,
Taylor Hendricks too.
Who from Pepperdine, that dropped down. Yeah, that dropped into the second round. He's a first round grade. I like Taylor Hendricks too. Like you mentioned him, even though it's UCF. You'll be like, golly, like Larry at who was the dude from the Bucks? Larry
Sanders.
Golly. Larry Sanders, yeah, from where'd he go? Virginia. He went to Virginia at VMU, right? He went to that team that went to the Final Four. He's on that team that went to the Final Four. VCU. There you go. I'm like VMU, A&T, whatever the hell. Yeah, but he went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth. So like when you look up and you're like, oh God, Larry Sanders is killing it. Where the hell did he go to school? You forget he went to VCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I like it.
So those guys. Yeah.
Well, that's been our NBA draft coverage. Thank you very much for checking us out here at Prime Sports World. Tomorrow, we're going to preview the start of NBA free agency. Starts on Thursday when players can start to negotiate with teams. Keep an eye out for that content. We're also going to continue our NFL season preview episodes. Probably get 2 of those done this week. So keep an eye for all that content. I'm David Huffman, Israel Vera, TJ Hopkins, and gentlemen, what do we do here at the Prime, my friends?
We bring the heat, and I don't need the heat.
Bring the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank God for this rain, man.
Man, it was pouring like 10 minutes ago. Now it's 86 degrees outside. So we'll be back here tomorrow. You guys all have a good night. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later.
See you, man.